Hey everyone, it's Ez. I'm at Sydney to see Vixx. And people have been giving out bits and pieces today. It's just been, oh my god, this stuff I've gotten this week, it's like incredible. And this behind me is like the line, like for like gold tickets. Few civil people in there, but it's just more, you know, lining up. So first in, best dressed for like standing and that. So yeah. And this is the line, and that's someone giving out stuff, as you can tell, because they're getting mugged at the moment. Yes. And this is like, yeah, the line, and there's many different bits and pieces and people and stuff here. So yay, it's going. Yeah, roller coasters above us. So yeah, we're all lined up on the wall.
속에서라도 절대로 날 찾아오면 안 돼. 매일 아침이 오면 넌 당황 않고 내가 떠나간 사실조차 느끼지 못하고.
Hey, yeah, it's Barbie. What I did this time in Sydney Block, I went back to Morning Glory and bought more face masks and stuff again this time. So yeah, I really can't help myself.
We're back again now. This is real fantasy. 'Cause I am playing around now. Big I don't relax. 첫 준비가 됐어.
Hey everyone, so at the moment I am in Melbourne, yay, to see Vixx again. Anyway, I've just gone for a bit of a walk because we needed pens and there's a factory outlet that I've walked out of. I ended up going to Typo to get some pens for a fan project that's being run. They're putting together a book for the boys and people are putting messages and stuff in anyway. Everyone's put in stuff. And like this has been thrown together at the last minute like everything else we've been doing for this for the concerts anyway, they're putting the book together now today. It's like in a scrapbook, but they ran out of pens, so I can't do the storage store and have just gone looking for pens. But more sweeter is there. Hey everyone, it's almost time and everyone's kind of getting a bit pumped. And the music's, they played the music there, they stopped it and they didn't start it again. Then when they started again, everyone kind of just screamed. So yeah, everyone's kind of really excited. So see you after. Hey everyone, it's Ezra. Okay, I am really tired. I've had a long day train hopping my way back up to where I am in New South Wales after seeing Vixx in Melbourne, after seeing them in Sydney. Yay! So, since I'm waiting for someone to come give me a jump start on my car because my mate took something out, didn't close the door about it properly, so my battery's flat now. So yeah, I kind of got to wait till someone turns up because I've rung someone. They just got to turn up, jump start my car, then I can go home. That could be well. So anyway, okay, so both concerts, they didn't allow footage to be taken, no phone footage, no professional photography. Now, as you probably know online, there's a heap of photos online because people did get cameras in. And with the Sydney show, it was easier for them to take photos with the cameras, like the fan groups and that. Honestly, okay, they said no photos taken, so other than a few snaps I got before each show, I didn't take any photos. That was my own personal, you know, wish, and I followed what was asked. With the fan groups, I didn't have a problem with any of them in Sydney because they were really nice, really polite. Like, even though it was standing room only, they weren't pushing anyone out of the way. They weren't, you know, using anyone as a, you know, to lean on to steer your camera. I think they were really nice, really good. They didn't have their cameras, you know, up high above their head. It was down low, you know, just pointing up. So I didn't have a problem with any of them that did take any of the photos, any of the fan groups and that. So they were fine, no problems there, honestly. Like, there were staff going around patrolling, looking for anyone taking photos and stuff like that. And if they caught you, you were told to, you know, stop or delete your pics. So, with the Sydney one, I did notice at the end for the last 2 songs, someone must have said something about a few people that were near the front, because security came and found them. They were from 2 of the fan sites, and they did have cameras. I knew that they were like in front of me. I was probably about 5th back, like person-wise, from the front, because there were a few near me, and they put their cameras away quick. But they were really nice people. I accidentally hit one of them with my light stick, and they apologised before I could. They were that nice of people. So honestly, I didn't have a problem with that. The Melbourne show was a lot different because it was seated, so people were running around more so they could see if you were taking photos and that. So with the Melbourne show, there's not as much in the ways of fan footage and probably pictures circulating online. But anyone that did take pictures and that, like I said, we were asked not to, but it's their own personal choice. And the fan sites do a lot of work and a good job. So if they did take photos, well, I am happy that they are online, to be honest. But I didn't take any first. I'll just use the fan site photos to go, memories. Anyway. Now, with both shows, there were many differences. So, we'll start with Sydney. Sydney show, it was like standing only in the gold area, a few in the silver area. There was a seated section above, which was just like the bronze people, and that was pretty much all there was. Like, the venue at Luna Park could hold about 3,000 people. Probably about 500-700 were there at the most, probably closer to 5 really. But we did make a low noise for the boys, as if it was full, really. And they were really good, really sweet. Talking to the audience and that too, it was a lot different than what it was to Mom, because like this was the first concert, and you could tell by the way they were, you know, having to think and all that. And like they had a few funny things they wanted to ask us about Australia, especially with Leo and the incident meeting the tipsy girls. That was interesting. What happened was, Leo was walking around Sydney before the Monday concert. This was on the Saturday from memory, he said. And some girls took his phone, and one of them took a video of them doing some inappropriate movements on a man's lap or someone's lap. And then they sent the video to their phone. Now, they only brought this up at the concert because Leo wanted to know, is this normal? And it was kind of funny because everyone was like, yeah, no one could give them the no answer. And said, okay, moving on pretty quickly, you know. Like, he was like, okay, let's move on. But the Sydney concert was good. We had to stand outside because it was standing room and golden. I was there with my friends from like 11 o'clock. But it was really good. Everyone was really nice. They took us in groups to process our tickets, and if we wanted to buy merchandise, we could. Then we came back out and lined up. So some people did move about a bit, like if they didn't get as much merchandise, like, and they were a lot quicker through, or if they didn't get anything and they went back out to line up. So if there were a few people moving, 1-2 people did mention that, but it wasn't that big a deal. Like fan stuff that was sites and items that were being handed out, like fans and cards and like little posters, that they were really good. And there was a lot of them at Sydney and also at Melbourne. Those were brilliant. And all the work that went into the fan projects for the boys was brilliant and beyond, considering how quick everything kind of had to get put together really at the last minute and everything. It was really well done. Okay, Melbourne show. A lot of people didn't really turn up till later for that one. Like, they started selling merchandise at 3 o'clock, which was the same time they sold it in Sydney. But with the Melbourne show, they weren't fixing up, like, you weren't getting wristbanded or ticketed. You just had to have your ticket on you when they opened the doors at 5:30 to run you in to get seated. So some people turned up early, just mostly for the merchandise. Me and my friends, we rocked up there at about 12ish, a bit after, and we helped out with the fan projects because, as some of you would know, a book was put together for the boys and given to them, like with messages and that from people. And one of my friends, she helped like write down messages people had sent in and that, because like, it was really last minute. It was like 3 days notice they had to put that together, and they did a brilliant job getting that together at such a last, 11th hour moment. There were banners down there too for Melbourne fans, and that was also really good too. And there was a lot of different fan stuff again. Like, some of it was similar, but some of it was like there were fans and stuff like that they had different pictures on, and a lot of work had gone into that as well. And it was really good, and everyone, like, all the fan stuff was really appreciated, and all the hard work that went into it. Okay, Leo picked 2 questions at the Melbourne concert compared to the Sydney concert. That is because he wanted to get revenge at Hongbin, because Hongbin made him jump across the stage like a kangaroo, which there is probably some footage floating online if you want to look for it. But, but this is the big but, it was just the way he was called over to him. Like, he said, okay, you stay on that side of the stage, and then I'll call you over, then you can just jump over. But the way he said it was like, you know, as if you were calling a dog, and he was really cool and calm and collected about. He'd done it, and he's hopping across, boing, boing, boing. Then as he's getting closer to Hongman, it's like, 3, 2, 1. Hongman takes off with Leo after him to beat him up over it. So anyway, come Melbourne concert, Leo picked 2 questions. One was, if you could only listen to one song for like ever, and that's all you'd ever listen to, who would it be? So they all did that question, and it ends at one point, why are you taking this question so seriously, people? Anyway, so we're up to the second question, and as soon as you said, you knew it was kind of revenge. It was to get Hongbin to like sing something really, really high, because like of his voice range, he couldn't get that high without cracking it. So in the end, he just had to say Melbourne really, really high, and Ken was giving him pointers. Then somehow Starlights got roped into it to scream, Vixx really, really high. We did that. That was really, really horrible. The only thing we learnt was from the boys looking out at the stage, the left-hand side was the loudest. It's the only thing we got out of that. So, yeah, that was that. Okay, concert-wise at Melbourne, it was like seated really good. I was close to the front. I had a good view of the boys. Everyone was really well behaved. Apparently there were some hecklers that were actually flipping off the boys and making rude and nasty comments towards them, and Ravi actually heard and saw this, and he pointed it out to Leo too, and Ravi did disappear behind stage at one point, and everyone thought it was I didn't think too much of it. I thought he might have been a bit off, but then later on I noticed that there were actually managers, like even from Jelp and Jelp staff, running around like making sure people weren't taking photos. They were going over to this one section a fair bit. I thought they had phones on, but they didn't. I'm thinking something's up there, you know. I thought, okay, chances are maybe someone's a bit sick or something. No, it turns out afterwards, from what we heard, that they were actually being really rude and disrespectful to the boys. But it's like, okay, you're being rude and disrespectful. Why did you bother coming to the concert if you're just going to do that? Seriously, the waste of money alone, considering they were in the gold section, that's like, yeah, just ridiculous. So, yeah. Okay, the concerts themselves, like the Melbourne concert, performance-wise, it was probably just a little bit more polished, like looking at compared to the Sydney one. That probably might also have a bit more to do with the fact that, like, they might not have been so nervous and that too, and plus also Ken hadn't gotten off a flight that morning to perform. Like, Ken had gotten off the flight Monday morning to perform Monday night in Sydney, and that was really, like, because of his schedule in Korea. So Melbourne, they'd had a bit more time to relax, get together, and, you know, probably had a bit more time to practice everything, but it was a really good show. The questionnaire bit was brilliant, like the Ask Vixx questions at both concerts, and it was really interesting at the Melbourne concert how they actually hooked selling the members behinds, because they all went to get questions at once, and someone said, someone said something about they've been we're not showing the star. I'm pretty sure it was inside. We're not showing the starlights our pretty face, and Hook's like, but we're showing them our behinds. I'm sure they want to see that, which we did, honestly, because come on, it's the boys, and yeah, Nick, just don't. I won't say anymore because it's embarrassing enough what I've already admitted on camera, and not all of this might end up online yet. Probably will, but anyway. So yeah, that was that. So yeah, Hook's going around and showing, like, you know, running their hands down, showing off their asses, and then he even turns Hongmin around a bit just so he can show his ass off better. That was so funny.